And we've got one great show ahead of you.
I love it when I can stump the chooch.
Oh, boy, that's a tough one, Frank.
And welcome to another exciting edition of the Great Lakes Smoke Show. Take it away, Ron.
And welcome to another fantastic day, because today is a fantastic day, if I do say so myself.
Why is it
to the
so
Great
fantastic?
Lake Smoke Show.
Why is it so
I
fantastic?
don't know. You know, I made it around the world one more time. So, it's a little special day for me today. And I kind of like it. So I'm going to say it's a fantastic day. How does that sound? Sounds good? Sounds good. Welcome, everybody.
Sounds good to me.
We do have a very special guest tonight. You've seen him before, but he's always got news coming on, things that are happening in the cigar world. He's in the mix, to say. He certainly knows what's happening here and abouts, and we're very excited to have him. But we're also excited to have all of you here tonight. Once again, we thank you very much for all the support you've been giving us. The show has been growing, as you all know, and the support level has been growing big time. So we do want to thank you. If you have any questions or anything that you want us to talk about or ask us about, you can always PM us on our Facebook page. And of course, email us at greatlakessmokeshow@aol.com.
There you go.
And we
Happy
want to
birthday to you, bro.
there you go.
Yeah, happy birthday, cuz.
Thank you. Thank you.
You don't look a day over 70.
It's 71. Not bad being born in 1949, right? All right. So, Frank, if you can, do me a favor. Reach out to Luciano, if you would. It's not coming up on his browser.
How can I reach out to him if I would?
Your cell phone? Can you get him on the cell phone? He's having a hard time.
His browser doesn't support StreamYard. He's downloading a new browser. Give him a second. So,
all right.
It'll
No
be
problem.
a second.
I'll get this jumping on. We are doing old school on this end, folks, because our co-host, Kyle, unfortunately is stuck out in Indiana, and he's got a lot of the equipment. So we're on StreamYard, but you can
Well,
also...
at least we're not in black and white. We are in color.
we are in color.
So
Absolutely.
we're not
We are
all the way
in color.
old
Yes.
school.
It's not that bad. Not bad at all. But we're on StreamYard right now trying to put this all together. And you guys also can reach us on YouTube. If your Facebook page is a little shaky and all, you can get us on YouTube. And Frank has put down on the right-hand side, from what I can see, everybody's happy birthday. Thank you, everybody. Wow, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Beautiful words and thank you. I really appreciate that. It's been a pretty tremendous day answering phones and text messages and Facebook. So it's taking back on it. Thanks. But in the meantime, as far as the rest of business-wise, you can see what I'm wearing here, folks. That's right. It's our new hat. Bruce Stark out there. We will sign it. I was hoping to get that signed out and send that to you in the mail today. But Bruce, Kyle is not here to do his signature. So,
And yeah, you need mine, Bruce. I'm gonna sign the chooch next to it. So you need my signature if you can hold off and wait, because I know it's important to have that hat on, but if you wait a week or two, you'll get it with, the authentic Chooch signature.
Yes, I'll bring it out to California. I mean, to California.
California.
Drink.
There we
drink.
go.
It's my birthday. I've been drinking.
There he is. There he is.
There he is. Our special guest just about ready to come on. And it's the co-owner of Ace Prime Cigars, the one and only, our brother, Mr. Luciano himself. Hello there, buddy. How are you?
Hey, how are you guys?
Good.
We're doing good.
Looking sharp. I love the gear. Look at that hat.
Yeah, we're pushing the gear. We're trying to
Sexy.
make our sponsorship money and enough to just keep us to the trips. Going to Vegas, maybe Nicaragua one day.
Who knows?
So, as you can see, folks, we are trying to promote and get a little bit of, green to help us continue the show. So Bruce will have this hat signed out when we get out to Vegas. And Sabrina down at the Cigar Lounge, Norwood Cigars down in Chicago, will also get yours signed too and send that off next week when we get back. But in the meantime, if you're interested in supporting us in any way, a beautiful hat, tailor-made by New Era. This is good stuff. We don't deal with cheap stuff here. It's good quality.
These are fitted caps.
Fitted caps indeed, and a cap to support us, $25. We got a beautiful patch here for all the patch maniacs. As you can see, it's only $10. And we have beautiful stickers here for you stickeramas there, all right? $2. All right? Get the whole deal all together. What we say, Frank, all three for a package deal, only $30.
There you go. You can't beat that.
Yeah. And again, it keeps us on the air, and we can keep supporting you guys and bring you the latest news in the tobacco world and everything else as we all been keeping you busy on.
Special guests like Luciano.
And
Yes.
wonderful guests from the industries itself. And before we get to our special guest, let's take care of some business. Folks, we are looking for sponsors. If you're interested in helping us out, we would love to sponsor your product. Give us a call, touch base with us. We're looking for sponsors again to keep us going. We're 3 years strong, but we need more because we want it out there more and more all the time. Well, a lot of cigar lounges want us at their events, and there's a lot of stuff happening. So help us out, touch base with us. Frank, show them what they get for their sponsor money.
You got it.
On a small farm nestled along a river in southern Honduras grows an estate-grown tobacco so exceptional. Stop, please. No moss. This is Dan Blunt for Alec Bradley Cigars. Some copywriter handed this to me, expecting me to read it. Good Lord. Do me a favor. Pick up an Alec Bradley cigar. Light it up. Spend an hour with it. You'll be glad you did. We'll talk again real soon.
Loyalty, passion, courage. These are the founding principles of K by Karen Berger Cigars. The Maduro, the Habano, and the newly rated 93 by Cigar Journal Connecticut. Do yourself a favor and check out this wonderful line of cigars that come from a completely linear company from seed to your hands. Experience the magic of Rockefeller Cigars today. With 11 years steeped in tradition, passion, and mystery of the leaf, Rockefeller has a cigar just for you. Be like the greatest magicians and make Rockefeller Cigars appear in your lineup with any of our 4 lines. The Nicaraguan, the Dominican Blue, the Vintage Gold, and our new LE, the Art of Magic.
And we are back.
And we're back. Hello, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. That's just a small sample of what we can do for you and promote you guys on. And then Frank will be running a banner on the bottom end so you guys could constantly see all the sponsors. And also we'll be doing small little commercials for you guys during the week and get that played out and keep pumping your product. But now that that's all said and done, let's welcome the one, the only, the co-owner of Ace Prime Cigars, our brother, Mr. Luciano. How are you, buddy?
You guys are awesome. You make it sound like I'm in a football stadium or something.
Yeah.
Hey, listen.
Yeah, we try.
First of all, today's your day, sir. Happy
Thank
birthday.
you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Happy
Thank you.
birthday.
Thank you.
Many years.
Yeah, I got a lot
Filled
more
with
to
joy
go.
and happiness. Oh yeah.
I appreciate that. A lot of incredible people coming into my life at this age, and I'm pretty excited about it. It's been a great run so far. Hopefully, I get about 30 more years, maybe more.
There you go.
We'll see what the 90s are
Absolutely.
like. So, how are you
Absolutely.
doing? How's everything going there, buddy? Thank you for coming
All good,
on
brother.
tonight.
All good. Just a lot of work, 3 trade show. I was in Nicaragua for the last 45 days. Just made home 3 days ago. And it's just wrapping up, getting things ready. I think it's going to be a great show. We're all extremely excited.
Yeah, we are excited ourselves. We're leaving for Las Vegas on Friday, and we can't wait. We've been talking about this for a while, and we are very excited. And we also want to thank you for the special invite, for being your dinner guests. That's an honor that we take seriously, and we can't thank you enough for that. We're really looking forward to that, as you are one of the main sponsors of the show this year. And Ace Prime is certainly making the name these last 3 years, I guess you can say, since 2 years ago out. This is going to be your third year in, and you have certainly made a wave in the industry. And I'm just smoking one of your cigars, and I think this is one of the best cigars I've smoked in your honor. And thank you very much for making that for me.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm honored that you are smoking that cigar on your birthday.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's special, especially having you on tonight is even more special. And I do appreciate that. I know how busy you are trying to get ready for the PCA show. So this is even more special for me to even having you on. And I can't wait to see you in person Friday. And there's just so much happening with Ace Prime. I've been following you guys.
What day are you actually leaving? Thursday? Or?
Well, I'm just 3.5 hours from Vegas. So I'm in Orange County right now.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'll probably, I'm leaving tomorrow. I'll probably be there around like 3-4 o'clock. Got already a lot of meetings scheduled for tomorrow, and then Thursday we have the assembling booth and stuff. So I just want to go there and give a help to our sales team who's working hard there, and just be around my people.
Nice.
Good.
How long, Luciano, how long does it take for you to set up your booth and get everything prepared and, get everything delivered and set up? I'm sure that's kind of a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends. Like, this is the first time we have the booth together with Crown Heads. So I really don't know. I know Crown Heads is just using whatever they had already purchased, and they used the previous year. So it's nothing like, new. Definitely the cigars will speak by themselves.
Right.
And we are extremely excited about the new products we're bringing in. But like in 2019, it was a little different. We had a company doing everything. So we just we had a designer. So the designer sent this to the engineer, and then they kind of built up from scratch the whole thing, and
Right.
installed there. Our only job was basically set up the cigar boxes and the displays and everything else. So I don't know exactly how much work it's into this one here. I would assume it's probably like a full day kind of thing,
Right.
Because they have to start in the morning and then make sure they are done by 5, and then they have half day next day to finalize everything, all the details before the opening reception.
Gotcha.
Johnny, are you going to have the same private booth, the glass booth again, or no?
No. Like I said, this year will be with Crown Heads. It's whatever they have set up. We're just gonna have a larger booth because it's gonna be two companies in the same area.
Gotcha.
But it's all everything has been so organic with Crown Heads. 2 of their new launches are manufactured in our factory, and so we all basically representing, these products with them, and they distribute our products. So it's kind of one big family, and we are excited to have the show with them.
Sure.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
Good.
Do you have a special release this year that you're going to announce at the show?
Of course.
Yeah. We have a few things we're going to talk about. I mean, just here, we've got you guys. Look, you got your big page and the PCA. You and Mr. Pichardo himself. That's a beautiful picture. I don't know if you guys could see that.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. I didn't see that.
You didn't see that?
That's a beautiful picture.
No,
Man.
that's on this year's PCA. I just got my magazine. You got a full page over here.
That's awesome.
All right. And they are talking, what Bob was just mentioning, everybody. Maybe you want to start with what you're talking about. How's this sound?
I love the branding on that. Beautiful.
Yeah. So we're launching 2 new products. One is a PCA special called the Sergeant. And then we have the cigar that I'm smoking right here. It's called Fiat Lux.
Right.
Which has also been announced, and we're very, very much excited about this cigar. So the Sergeant comes in one size. It's a 5x58. Amazing wrapper. It's one of our most aged wrappers, and we are using the same wrapper on the Sergeant as well as on the Crown Head Squirt Series Z. That's always also going to be launched during the PCA.
Nice.
And binder on the Sergeant is a Connecticut shade, U.S. Connecticut shade grown, and it's a double actually binder. And then we have all fillers from Nicaragua, different regions. So we build a cigar that basically control every single tobacco that's in that specific cigar. So we grow all that tobacco. And the Fiat Lux is this beauty here. We have 4 sizes on this one, on the Fiat Lux.
Okay.
Who's actually blending that, Luciano? Is that
this one, both the Sergeant, this one was me. I spend more time on the blending. Pichardo was more like with the agricultural side. He was extremely involved this year in the agricultural side. So, but this one specifically, I blended. It's been quite a journey.
What kind of wrapper is that? It looked beautiful when you held it up. That wrapper looked beautiful.
Oh, this is a Sumatra wrapper.
Oh, it looks beautiful. Wow.
Yeah, that's a Sumatra. We have a Sumatra wrapper. We call a high prime, so it's a thicker Sumatra leaf. So it's on the top of the plate.
Mm-hmm.
It's delicious, man. I mean, the amount of salinity in this wrapper is amazing. It's a different cigar.
What kind of notes are you to expect smoking that cigar?
This is the first time I say this live, and it's gonna sound weird, but it's gonna sound weird. But when you smoke it, you understand. Any cigar after this cigar will taste better.
Interesting.
Interesting.
No, I like that.
It sounded weird, right? But
no, I like that.
I'll explain. Remember, I think you guys and we talked about salivation, right? So
yes.
Salivation is extremely important when you're smoking a cigar. I think we got a reaction here that I've never experienced in any other cigar, which is an excessive amount of salivation to a point where this is a cigar that cleans your palate. And after the 3rd, 4th puff, it's so much salivation that you start experiencing different notes. It's not because the cigar is changing. It's because your mouth is changing. The pH of your saliva is changing. Wow. And I've been doing some kind of interesting experiments here. I smoked sometimes 2 cigars at the same time. So if I want to really understand, and you're going to see this. Look how many cigars I have lit at the same time.
Yeah.
So when I smoke the Fiat Lux, I go to the Sergeant, and now I can actually taste notes that I was not tasting before.
Oh,
because of the salivation. It's almost like it's a palate cleanser, but it's a standalone cigar. You smoke it, and then it's impossible to not notice. You're gonna notice that you're gonna be salivating like a lot, and you feel the salinity, and then your taste buds open up, and then you start feeling all sorts of different flavors. Like nut flavor, kind of more like a bright hetero,
okay.
but not persistent. You hetero, and then it goes away, and then you want more. So it's a different smoke. Like I'm not afraid to say that when we blended Mil Diaz, I had the same feeling. It's a 50% chance of being a huge success, 50% chance of a complete failure. Because it's a disruptive cigar. It's new. It's innovating.
Right.
I'm speaking out of my heart. You guys know me.
Yep.
I don't like bullshitting. I think it's a different cigar. I'm not saying that that we make better cigar than other people. I'm saying I think achieve something special here. I think it's a cigar that people will like it, will love it. But I think it's something completely different that's out there in the market.
How did you come up with the names on both of the lines, the Fiat Lux and the Sergeant? What kind of spawned that initial naming of the cigar?
So let's start with Fiat Lux first. It was the journey. So the Fiat Lux, it's a Latin expression for "let there be light," right? And it was very much used during the Enlightenment period. It's also in the Bible,
right?
In the Latin translation, when God created, the heavens and the earth. So, and He said, "Let there be light." The expression in Latin is Fiat Lux, but Fiat Lux was mainly used during the Enlightenment period, where it referred to knowledge, because people were in complete darkness. They had no access to books, to education, and then people realized that actually everybody should have access to knowledge.
Right.
I think the journey of creating the cigar. It's funny because usually a lot of people, they have the concept of a cigar, a name for a cigar, and then they develop the blend. Usually it's like that. So I'm going to create the Sergeant. So what's going to be the blend I'm going to use for the Sergeant? So here was like, I want to create this blend that will be a core line in the Luciano line. I don't have a name for this cigar yet. Let's the journey speak, So I let the journey talk to me. And I think this was a journey of enlightenment for myself.
Gotcha.
And I hope it is for everybody, I discover new things by creating the cigar, and I hope people discover as well.
Which came out first, the Sergeant or the Fiat?
The Sergeant. The Sergeant we blended almost 2 years ago. We're just waiting for the right time to release. So the Sergeant was definitely inspired by a brother of mine, which you guys know, called Brian Azevedo. So Brian has been an inspiration for me. He's one of the most altruistic beings I know. A guy who fought for us. He fought for a country. He's a U.S. Marine Corps, and but a lot of people think that the cigar was created to appeal to kind of military, thing. Of course, it has the Sergeant and logo on it, and but actually the feeling behind the cigar was to really honor the lives of people who are willing to self-sacrifice and be so altruistic to a point of giving their lives for the other, Right. So and usually the Sergeant is that guy who usually don't get the accolades. He usually don't get the popularity of the high rank officers. But he's the guy doing the groundwork. And he's the guy who's most of the times risking his life for the others, and which is the case with Brian. So I've never. We always think of military people. I know a lot of people who serve, But I had a chance to get to know Brian's story and get to know all the difficult situations that he went through in combat. So he served during the Iraq War. He was also stationed in Korea, and the stories and the things he went through. And that guy is such a humble guy, like, which is amazing. Like, he never say anything. Like, he never brags about anything. Usually when I see kind of military guy just bragging about his medals and ribbons and how badass he was, first of all, usually I always think is a lie.
Right.
Because and you guys know what I'm talking, because people who go through this kind of nightmare, which is a war, usually they don't like to talk about it. They don't like to brag about it.
They won't talk about it.
They don't talk about it. And so I met Brian more than 15 years ago, and since I know this guy, I mean, he's been a good friend, and he's always self-sacrificing for others, for his family, for his friends, for his country. And I decided to create a cigar to honor him, to honor people like him, people who are willing to do the same, or willing to fight without having to, receive notoriety.
Right.
That's a noble thing to do. It really is.
It's been about 2 years since I've seen Brian. How is he doing? Is he okay?
Oh, he's good. He's coming to the show. You're gonna see him again.
All right. Good. Excellent. Like I said, it's been 2 years. Probably maybe a year before COVID and all this nonsense here. So I'm looking forward to meeting him. Thanks for letting me know about that.
Oh, absolutely.
That's wonderful.
So, man, I told him, you got to be at the show, brother. I'm launching a cigar to honor you.
That's that. Well, again, that in itself, cheers to the idea for all our, I'm going to say, military and first responders out there. We can't do enough for them for everything they do for us.
Absolutely.
So I love the sergeant. I can't wait to try it. I'm excited about that for you and the crux, of course. But the last time we did talk to you, you had a special guest jump on by the name of Alex Gonzalez. How is he doing, and how is he enjoying the cigar world?
Oh, he's doing great. He's playing again, man, which is crazy.
Yes, I saw him. I saw him playing again. I can't believe it.
So he's playing. He's killing it. So I went to one of his games. I went to a few weeks ago. We went to have a meeting there, and we went to one of his games in Guadalajara, and he killed it. Like, two home runs, and it was beautiful.
He still has it.
Oh yeah, and he does. So he has so much that actually the reason why he wanted to play again, because he wanted to represent Mexico during the Olympics.
Oh, for the Olympics, yes.
Yeah. So he's on the Olympic team. He's the captain of the Olympic team, and he's going to play for Mexico.
Oh, that's fantastic.
But listen, that's another good news, which we haven't told anybody yet. So he's gonna stop by the show Monday, a day before he head to Japan.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Okay, beautiful.
Just check it out and be there. So.
On Monday, huh?
I don't know what time our flight is on Monday. I know we stayed a little bit longer than last time. We're learning. We're getting there, which is great. But we're looking forward to that. How about how's Tiago and Dominic? Will they be out there this year too?
No, Dominic is not. Tiago, he's right now in Spain. He's actually with his son and daughter. It was a tough season for him. He was coaching the Nets for this last season, and the guy worked like crazy, and he just had like a week to basically rest, and then next week he's training with the team again. So he wanted to be there, but unfortunately he won't be able to make this year.
It's all right. Well, give them both, all of them, our best, which is exciting enough. But we know that I've been watching a lot of stuff that's been going on, and we talked about two of the cigars. Crown Heads, and you guys are really putting out a wonderful product. I know the last time we talked about, you put out the Mill cigars, which was I
Mil
smoked.
Diaz.
And
Mil Diaz is a fantastic.
they've been
cigar.
fantastic, and they've been really making a scene. I would imagine you're hitting it off real well. I've heard nothing but good stuff about it. How's things going on your end? Because you're in it. Is what I hear true?
Well, we're very happy. Always back order, can't keep them at the shelves, and that's what we want, man. That's what we need, and the product's moving like crazy, and we are very thankful. We're very thankful to our consumers, to our retailers, for embracing, and we are, for us, the best recognition for the work we do is it's seeing the product out there. It's
Right.
seeing people enjoying it. A lot of people build cigars for ratings. Of course, ratings help because people look at them and they want to. People are afraid to try new things, so they want to make sure someone said it's good before they try it. But people really embrace the cigar, and it's just moving really, really well. So we are very happy with Mil Diaz, Juarez, all the special projects we did at Crown Heads this year. They were really, really well accepted. We got the Lost Angel, who did an amazing. It's basically sold out in a few hours. Then we had the JR project that we did with for Crown Heads as well, called the Mother Church, which is also sold in a few weeks out there, and all this. Just still very few boxes left. We launched the Mil Diaz Escogido, which was the special release of Mil Diaz, which was sold out in less than 24 hours. So I mean, it's been nuts.
Are they in limited quantities or?
No, yeah. So the special editions, they come in limited quantities. I know that for the Escogido, if I'm not wrong, I think it was 20,000 cigars.
That's it?
Yeah, but try to imagine 20,000 cigars being sold in one day.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm surprised. that Now, was that sold all online in a day, or was that through your retailer?
No, it's sold to the retailer.
All sold to the retailers. One day gone off the shelves.
Fantastic. That is-
Amazing.
Wow.
well,
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So now, some retail shops, I don't know how much each one of them bought, but at the end it was like a fight. I won 5 boxes, and now we can only give 3 because we gotta this region. We gotta make sure it goes to everybody. Everybody gets it. So it was awesome, man. I mean, I'm blessed with these guys of Crown Heads. The sales team led by Miguel Chodel is just amazing. All of them, our brokers too, Miguel Chaveta. Try to remember everybody's names. Wes, we have David Payne, we have Ed Trevino, we have Brian McGee out of Texas. All these guys are doing an amazing job, man. They are just knocking the ball out of the park.
Well, they were talking about. I think last night was a show that the 3 of the big heads there were talking in regards to all the releases and talking about Ace Prime. You guys are certainly making a name again, or continuing making a name. You always seem to be on the top of everybody's lips and tongue to be talking about. I know it's such an honor because knowing you, I mean, trying to keep up with you is impossible. You are all over the world basically, and kudos to keep that pace. But it's the pace that you need to have to make your name in marketing, and the passion that you have is unbelievable, Luciano. I kudos to everything that the staff and everybody does. And again, just hooking up with Crown Heads, it just seems to have taken you to a whole nother level. I mean, again, I'm going to say 2 years in a row, minus last year, of course. This year you with Espinosa, Crown Heads, and you with Piero Tego. as far as the four main sponsors. Again, you came from nowhere out of the blue, and now you're up there, dude.
What do you mean came from nowhere, brother?
Well,
Well, you didn't just appear like you didn't just like poof. Here's Luciano. I think it was a lot of legwork.
It's almost fucking 15 years.
You did all this work in the last 15 years, and you came on the map. You went global faster than I think I know of any cigar line.
Probably,
right? I mean, honestly, it's kudos. It's a pat on the back, my friend.
Appreciate it, brother.
For you and your
leaps and
family.
bounds. I mean, I can't believe how quickly you have risen to the top. You really have.
You know, it's funny. It's because sometimes, you know, so if you look at in sports, you know, like you have all this amazing, I don't know, football players. They're all amazing, you know, but the ones that have really the high scores and they play, you know, to the go to the playoffs, to the finals and stuff, are the ones that we pay attention to. But all these people, they are working their ass off. You know, eventually they'll get there. And as me, you know, you have like Espinosa, you have Ferro-Tago, who's just starting right now. I would say that actually in terms of branding, I mean, Ferro-Tago is doing an amazing job. You know, I mean, look, the guys don't even have a cigar in the market yet, and everybody's expecting their cigars.
Right.
So they're doing an amazing job. I think the reason I believe Ace Prime has succeeded, I think I would attribute first to the fact that we made a decision in the past to never compete with our clients. So for many years, we made cigars for other companies, and that was our focus. So we didn't want to compete with them. We didn't want to launch any new brand. It took us like 3 years of preparation, of talking to each one of our clients and getting their support. And I think we kind of kicked off in a way that nobody has done in the past, which is with the support of the industry. So it's different than you just kind of trying by yourself, than trying with the support of your friends, you know. And I think that helped a lot. And also, I would say that one of the most important, if not the most important, reasons of the success was the alliance with Crown Heads. So people knew us as cigar manufacturers, but they didn't know our brands. When we launched our brands, we had a great show in 2019. But again, it would have taken like maybe 3, 4, 5 years at least, maybe more, to get where we are. Because of that alliance. Because of that alliance, we jumped from having, you know, a few hundred stores to over 1,000 stores based on that alliance. So we are very thankful, you know.
Well, they had the distribution.
Right.
That was key.
Exactly. So we're very thankful for this alliance, for this partnership. And then we have such a wonderful relationship with them too, you know, like talk to John almost every day, with Mike, you know, and Miguel almost every day, and those guys know what they're doing, and we know to do our part as well, and it's been a good marriage.
I'm going to hold you on that for a second, Luciano, and we're going to take a sponsor break, and we come back. We got Gary Levine who wants a question answered. So would you hold on a second, Frank? Take it away with our next group of sponsors.
Cigar Prop started off as one item, a simple cigar rest born out of necessity. Over the years, Cigar Prop has morphed into something greater. Cigar Prop is now a brand, a journey, a way of life. It has become known as Prop Style. That simple cigar rest has turned into a whole line of cigar accessories, apparel, and even a weekly live show called the I Tap That Cigar Show. So remember, make sure you give your cigars the props they deserve. But more importantly, remember to live prop style. Johnny D. Teas out of Lakeville, Illinois are a veteran-owned company that take great pride in their work. Their goal is not to fulfill one order, but to earn all future orders by offering the best products at unbeatable prices. Ask any of their repeat customers and they'll tell you their quality is always the highest and their prices are always the lowest. Shop any Veterans Collection and 25% of the proceeds will be donated back to the veterans of foreign wars or the American Legion.
This is Phil Morgan, General Manager of Missouri Meerschaum Corncob Pipes in Washington, Missouri. Our mission since 1869 has been to produce great smoking pipes that anyone can afford. We guarantee our pipes won't be your most expensive, but they just might be the ones you smoke the most. At Missouri Meerschaum Company, we don't just sell our corncob pipes, we grow them, make them, and smoke them. Missouri Meerschaum, Washington, Missouri, since 1869.
Specializing in tobacco pipe refurbishment and sales, Briar 911 buys and sells all kinds of pipes from a single pipe to entire collections. Our services include stem repair, replacement, deoxidation, and sanitization, reaming, cleaning, and bowl sanitizing, shank crack repair, buffing, and waxing. We make sure that each pipe is ready to smoke once it leaves our shop. For more info, contact us via Facebook at Briar 911.
We are back.
We are back indeed. Thank you, Luciano, for holding on. Folks, as you see, we're looking for sponsors. If you want to sponsor us, if you want, definitely us sponsor you guys to throw it out there, get in touch with us. Our email address is greatlakessmokeshow@aol.com, or simply Facebook us on our PM page, and we love to sit down and advertise for you. Also, please, everybody, jump on YouTube, our YouTube page. We are trying to build that up, and we're looking for you to subscribe. It's free. Jump on board. You can catch us 24/7 on YouTube also. Anything else to that, Frank?
No, that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, Luciano, thanks for holding on for us. Appreciate it. So Gary wants to know, as Frank put it up there, what local brick and mortar or websites can we find your cigars at?
Okay, so let's have some fun here. So, can I share my screen?
I think you can.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want,
right?
to do. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen. Users with 2 monitors, blah blah blah. Okay, I'll do it anyways. Let's see if it works. Let's see if it works.
Let's see.
Can you guys see my screen now?
I've got you.
We got
I can't
you,
see your
yeah.
screen. I got you full screen.
Okay. Let's see if this will work. I just want to mess with Gary. That's why I'm doing this.
Aha.
I want to mess.
You want to mess with him.
Okay, here we go. Am I sharing my screen?
I'm going to go
right?
here. Whoa, that's like a feedback loop. Oh, there we go. Hold on.
Now I have my screen.
Here
Right?
you are, Gary. Take a look, Gary.
Oh, there it is.
So
I
take
can
a look.
see your screen.
So-
Yep.
Gary, stop fucking asking this question and Google it. Listen. Pick a cigar. Just any cigar of our line. Just say any cigar. Pichardo, right? Let's do Pichardo. Pichardo cigars for sale. And you Google and look. Famous
There you go.
Smoke, Small Batch, Mardo, Freeman Cigars. You can buy it any fucking where. Just go and fucking look at it.
He
Like
loves you,
seriously.
Gary. He
Like
loves
if you want to
you.
know, if you want to know, or just go to aceprime.com. There you go. Look, aceprime.com.
Gary's enjoying
Yes.
this one.
Look at this tab, where to buy, and click on it. And then you get a fucking map with everything, with all the stores.
There you go, folks. All thanks to Gary.
Thank you, Gary. We got a Google lesson there.
Just Google, dude. Just Google it. So But I mean, we have several brick and mortar partners who also sell online. Of course, I know you live in Waukegan, right, Gary? So I would you can go to Ken and Julie Cigars and More. I know that Arlington Pipe and Tobacco carries some of our lines. I know exactly what they're carrying right now, but you can always check that out. Or you can support some of the local brick and mortars that sell online. There's several of them out there. You can just Google it, bro. Just Google it. I don't want to mention one because then it's gonna be detrimental of someone else. So.
Luciano, do you guys still?
Gary says, "Google this."
They're friends, folks. They're good friends.
Gary knows I'm teasing him because he's a good friend. He's a good friend. He's also made several of our kind of giveaways and gifts and things we'll be giving at the show. So Gary did a good job with making some cool stuff. And I have like
good marketing man.
He was very creative with some stuff, and he's doing some marketing pieces for us. So thank you, Gary. But I had to do this to you, man, because
he does that so this way everybody else can get to see. He leads us on. But how about the bulb? Are you guys still doing that? Is that program still open?
So the bulb was created with a very specific purpose of supporting the brick and mortar during the pandemic.
Right.
So when they have to close their doors, when they could not operate, so we never intended to create bulb to compete or to sell online or compete with other brick and mortars or own companies. So I think the bulb was extremely important during the pandemic. It served a lot of stores. It helped a lot of them. It was a way to monetize and help them during this struggle. But there's no reason for bulb to continue. We're going to continue with content development. We are Miguel and I are talking about maybe having the show again, just educational stuff and talk about cigars. So, but bulb was a very successful initiative that I believe helped a lot of people, and now we are very happy to say that we don't need bulb anymore.
Right.
Actually, it's a good thing that we don't need bulb anymore. That shops are open, people, America is opening again. People are being able to go to their cigar lounges, buy their cigars. So that's what matters.
Yeah. What about the people that don't have a lounge near them? Did you find that maybe that was very helpful for those people? Like, the rural farmer or something who has to drive, 5 hours to go get a cigar. Did you find maybe that was very helpful for those kind of situations?
So, like, we never intended to become retailers, I think, like, these folks, they can always order online. They can always go to companies like, JR, Famous, Corona Cigars. All these guys sell products online,
Right.
So they can go and buy anywhere. Since I mentioned names, I got to mention, Small Batch Cigars. Some guys here from California too. See, I don't now. I can't remember any more names. They're gonna be pissed at me.
That's all right. Google it, folks.
Just Google it.
Find any Ace Prime cigars. How many is in the line now? You've added so many. I've lost track between you and Pichardo. Do you know how many numbers you're at?
No, hey, listen. It's very simple. We have now 5 lines. Used to be 3, now it's 5. So we have the Pichardo line, we have the Luciano, and we have the MXS, which was the 3 that you guys knew, and now we launched two new ones, which is the Sergeant and Fiat Lux. So Fiat Lux is part of the Luciano line, but has its own branding. It's called Fiat Lux by Luciano. 4 Bitolas. It's a full range class of line of cigars. Then we have the Sergeant, which is just one size, and it's a PCA exclusive. On the Pichardo line, we expanded sizes. So if you look at the Reserva Familiar that we had only in Toro, right? 3 different blends, only in Toro. Now we have in Corona Gorda as well. And this is also being launched during the trade show.
Okay, good.
So you have like now new sizes on those blends, and they are amazing.
I'm looking forward to those.
And then we have on the Pichardo line the Classico. The Classico is the one that was our top selling on the Pichardo line last year. We got the 93 rating from Cigar Aficionado. We still sell a lot of this cigar. And then we launched the Classico Maduro, which is a Brazilian wrapper, the Arapiraca wrapper. And then the Classico Natural is the new product that's also not being launched at the show, but will be released during the show. It's it's part of our sample pack.
Oh, great.
That's excellent. Luciano, I know last time we had you on is one of the last trips that you kind of made to Nicaragua. You were doing a fundraising for the people of Nicaragua. How is that coming along? How are the people doing? How are things coming along over there?
You know a little bit of our history there. I don't like to say that we do charity. We try to do business in the right way. And doing business in the right way is trying to pay fair wages. Is try to take care of our people and make sure that they have the proper environment to work. That we can create as many jobs as possible. So that's always been our goal for this past 12 years. But then I of course we sometimes are confronted with situations and emergency situations that things are much worse than they normally are. It's a very poor country that suffers a lot. But when natural disasters like the last two hurricanes, it's devastating. People lose their houses and people don't have what to eat. So we try to kind of support and provide to them during those difficult times. We have important work that we've been doing with kids with special needs there as well. Now we're focusing on in Esteli now creating a program we call the Tobacco University, where people will be able to come and learn not just about bunching and rolling, but also get to learn how to read and write. Believe it or not, we have almost 20% of the population of Nicaragua doesn't know how to read and write. They never went to school.
Wow.
Or teach them management classes where they can learn business. They can learn how the tobacco business works. And it's funny because I got this guy who kind of text me and said, well, so why are you doing this? So you're educating them. They're going to leave and they're going to create their own factories. I said, exactly. That's what we want. So we have a very I believe a very conscious approach to humanity, and this is part of our DNA. It's part of who we are, and I pray that I will never lose sight of that.
Right.
That's fantastic, Luciano. I'm so happy that is coming along. And I know last time you had a gentleman, a young couple, and I'm sorry I don't remember the name. They moved there specifically to.
It was Mike. I think his name was Mike. And his wife.
They were from New York, right?
They were from New York, I think.
Yeah.
Are they still with you down there?
Oh, yeah. They just came back. So Mike Denolis and Kristen Denolis.
Yes.
They are amazing people. Mike was the general manager for Soho in New York, Soho Cigar Bar in New York. Unfortunately, they had to close down. And Mike wanted to learn more about the cigar industry, the business. So he ended up staying for almost a little more than 3 months. And he had an opportunity to kind of visit our farms and kind of be in our factory almost daily there. And he decided to help us, and he's been helping us a lot with different things, social media, and also giving us support. He's coming to the trade show to support us as well. And but he has his own project. He's working on something very interesting and special. And when comes the time, I'm sure he'll let everybody know.
Beautiful.
Nice.
And how's Mark doing? Haven't heard from him in a while. Is Mark still with you?
Yeah, Mark is still with us. He's our marketing guy. He's going through. He's actually managing different projects right now. So he's a little. I would say he's on his 20% with Ace Prime and 80% with some other stuff he's working on. But he's still on board. Yeah.
Great, fantastic. And as far as the factories, how are you going with the fields and the factories? I think the last time you were expanding the fields and stuff like that and building another building. How's that coming along down there?
It's doing well, brother. We got some very interesting new things in terms of farming. You know, we got a new seed we're working with. Pichardo is developing together with some friends, and it's been extremely successful. We expanded our Pueblo operation. We almost doubled everything that we do in Pueblo because a lot in our blends comes from Pueblo. Next year, we're going to start farming in Esteli, which we weren't doing before. Now we'll start farming and processing the tobacco ourselves. Jalapa, you know, it's always been very important for us as well. We expanded quite a bit in Jalapa this year, so it's been a tremendous amount of work, a lot of ups and downs, but again, you know, we've been able to build these amazing products, and we're happy. When we talk about tobacco, we always have to plan like 2-3 years ahead.
Right.
So everything we are seeding right now, everything that we are working on right now, you see the results like 2-3 years from now.
Exactly.
Has it been a good growth this season?
Yeah, so it's kind of weird. It started a little late because of the hurricanes and all the rain, and we also we ended up finishing the last cycle too late as well because of the weather too. The weather was good; it was not raining at all last month, and the rain really kicked off this month. So we're still harvesting the last prime in Pueblo when I left a week ago. And now there's no tobacco anywhere in Nicaragua for the next 4 months because it's just rain. And then just back in November, it's when we start again.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay.
Luciano, what's the typical life cycle from seed to harvest? Is that vary regionally, or is that something that's pretty consistent?
So it varies on the method.
Okay.
Like it varies if you're growing wrappers or if you're growing for binders and fillers. It is also influenced by the type of seed that you're using.
Okay.
By the climate. So the old Cuban way, the harvest will always start when you see the tip. I happen to have a tobacco leaf here in front of me.
Oh, so Frank, I'm going to jump into that. Would you mind kind of showing us a little bit about maybe a construction of a cigar?
Of course. So we can do that.
All right.
So if this was a green leaf, when you see the very, very tip of the leaf, almost like
right.
1 millimeter, starting getting dry, it's time to cut that leaf. It's time to kind of prime it. So sometimes people notice that by growing tobacco in higher altitudes, that stage where you have to prime was a little sooner than at sea level, for example. You know? So that can really vary. I would say that average will probably be 85 to 87 days. If it's in Jalapa, sometimes it's 75 to 80 days. And also, depending on how you're going to harvest these leaves, it's going to also determine how long it's going to take in your hanging barn. Depends on the seed varietal. If the leaf has a lot of density, is too thick, it's a different process. If you're working with Corojo, which is a thinner leaf, less veins, it's one type of process. If you're working with Criollo, it's one product. Now you have so many different seeds now. People are crossing HBN with Criollo, with Corojo, and creating different
hybrids, different type of hybrids. Right.
Yep. So, you know, it really depends, but it goes in that kind of range, you know.
That kind of cycle?
It's usually
How many times a year can you do that? Like twice a year? Or
so here's one something that's very peculiar about tobacco. So the tobacco, it consumes a lot of nutrients from the soil.
Right.
So that's why when you plant tobacco in one specific area, you got to make sure you cycle that land with a different type of culture. So you go with beans because it has more nitrogen, or corn, or there is some specific, even grass that or a specific type of grass that then you grind everything and incorporate into the soil.
Right.
So we spend actually, out of the 3 months, we spend 8 months, 9 months just preparing the soil.
Gotcha.
With different things, different organic stuff, just to prepare the soil for the tobacco cultivation. So it's a lot of it's very intense. Not that we stop and then we don't do anything throughout the year. So we stop and then we start taking care of the soil for the next season.
But can you time it so that one area you're doing the regrowing of tobacco in one area, and then the other area you're churning and then farming it with whether it's grass or corn, so you have it in alternating seeds, so you can actually always be harvesting tobacco leaves?
So the way it works, it's based on our hanging barns, the capacity of our hanging barns. Let's say if I have 10 acres of land, all right, and I have 2 hanging barns. Get, we call quintales. Quintales is 100. That can maybe hold 50,000 quintales of tobacco. Just an example, okay? So 5,000, 50,000 is too much. So what we'll do is we'll get one area, and then we're gonna start planting in that area, and that other soil is being prepared.
Right.
Then 45 days later, we're going to go to another area, and then 45 days in another area. This way, we harvest throughout the entire season. And then we can rotate in the hanging barns, because the hanging barn will have that tobacco for 30 to 45 days hanging there. Right. And then when that 45-day tobacco is ready to go to the pylons, you open space to the next one. They'll come and be hanged.
Gotcha.
And then it goes like in cycles.
Cycles. Yep. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's good. You learned a lesson from Cuba who doesn't do that. So you're definitely, that's why I think Nicaragua personally, I think you guys are now, between Nicaragua and Honduras and DR, I think all you guys basically have learned the lesson of not what to do at Cuba, because they just kept using
the thing with Cuba, you only have
they had limited resources.
That's it. Right? That real estate is very limited. You gotta kind of keep producing in the same soil.
And also the technologies aren't available to them. I'm sure that you're using a lot of newer technology to even irrigate the plants in a way, using drip irrigation. So it's very different.
It's all scientific now.
It's very scientific.
Yeah, in Ecuador, we have more technology. In Nicaragua, we have, the Mother Nature helps us a lot in Nicaragua. Right. So the places that we have our farms in Pueblo, for example, we have an abundance of water underneath. So we have 2 wells that we can control exactly the amount of water we need. But instead of doing the drop irrigation, we like to work a little bit with. There's a different system that we use. We build canalets into between the tobacco, so the water flows to one side, because there's a very small inclination in our land. So it works perfectly for us, and you don't have to be too much aggressive. Also, because the equipment, especially like when you're doing wrappers, it makes sense to use more of the dripping irrigation, because first it's extremely expensive, and second, it's the same. It doesn't change. You got to keep the soil with a certain humidification,
right?
And if you can achieve that, just using our the methods we have, so we're just going to keep doing it.
Are you able? Do you have enough materials there to maybe construct a cigar for our audience?
I can try. I don't think I have a wrapper here, but we can maybe do some cigar education. People can see.
Sure.
I just I saw one of your shows where one of the reps of Oliva, Brian, he was deconstructing a cigar, right?
Yes.
So we can do the reverse today then, and construct
Yeah, we
one.
can do that.
That would
That
be
sounds
awesome.
like that sounds great.
I think the audience
What?
would love seeing that.
What we can do is maybe build a bunch so you can see how a cigar is bunched and the different methods of
Perfect.
bunching.
Perfect.
So let's see.
Folks, we're going to see Luciano construct a cigar. So pay close attention. This should be very interesting to some of you people who have never seen this before.
You know, it's funny because it sounds very like, oh, this guy's playing this whole thing. Yeah, we talked about it, but this stuff is always here. So I always stay in my backyard, and I have tobacco here, and I like to have tobacco so I can blend. You know.
Very good.
Oh, look at that! I love that Ace Prime logo there. That looks awesome.
You're being watched close.
You're being watched. We've got the
Let's see.
magnifying glass.
Can you see
go,
this?
folks? Enjoy
Yeah.
this.
Okay, so these are binders. So I'm gonna just pick one binder, and
Want to see this?
Beautiful.
I'm in California. Everything's very dry here, so I hope this will be.
That looks pretty. That looks pretty elastic, though.
Yeah, you know, the type of fermentation, it's to, as you can see, it's to make a binder that is resistant, right?
Yes.
So then let's talk about, I'm getting a leaf from Condega, from our farms. I'm getting a leaf from Amatepi here. And let's see, I'm going to bunch as if I'm doing a Corona Gorda. Let's see what else I got here. Got some Esteli tobacco as well. So I'm going to use the Esteli Seco. I want you to see the difference. Let's go back here. I want you to see the difference between all these leaves, all right? So this is a Seco. I'm going to put throughout the camera so you can almost see through.
Yeah, it's pretty transparent.
Nice.
See?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a Seco. This is responsible for combustion. And there's several ways of using the Seco. I usually only use half a leaf of Seco. This is a Viso.
Okay.
And I have some Hero here. Okay? Already fully fermented and ready to be used. So I'm going to show you guys one specific type of construction, which is very much used in Cuba. So that's how they like to construct a cigar. It's even called in Nicaragua the base cubana, which means Cuban-based. So you have the binder here. Instead of actually bunching the Seco in your hands, we're going to just use half a leaf of Seco, as you can see. It's already deveined and cut in half. And that leaf goes in a 30-degree angle together with the binder. Can you see it?
Yes, yes. Good view right now.
Good? Okay, cool. So here I have the binder. Here I have a leaf of Seco right here. And the veins are towards me. This
Gotcha.
side.
They're up. They're up on the upside towards you.
Okay?
Yep.
So now there's several ways of building a cigar. I could have actually the base in my hand, but I'm going to use the base at the table.
Okay.
I could have do a entubado. See the main stem, it's in the middle. So I will create one tube just by flipping the tobacco. Now I have a tube in my hand.
Right.
I'm going to do a half turn, and then I'm going to build another tube.
Okay.
Then you do another half turn, and you build another tube. This is the quickest. This is the quickest way, and the easiest way, in my opinion, to actually build a bunch. the way you're gonna see most of Ace Prime cigars being bunched, it's what we call the estrujado. There is one way called conjugado. It's also kind of Cuban, which is you just grab the tobacco, whatever form it has in your hands, that's the form that it goes in a cigar. Believe it or not, it is a method as well. But I like the estrujado. This is actually how, in my opinion, all cigars that are over 40 ring gauge should be bunched, which is you're going to use this 3 fingers of your left hand. Depends if you are. I'm ambidextrous. I could work with both hands, but people that are left-handed, you definitely want to use your right hand for this part. But I'm using my left. This hand just actually helps with support because this is the hand that's bunching. I could actually, let me do this. I could actually just bunch with one hand. Look at what I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
Let's try to do this in the camera again. So I'm folding with these 3 fingers, using my thumb to hold here, folding again, using my thumb to hold here. It's the famous accordion.
Accordion, yep.
Right?
Yep.
So, but a lot of people think that you use both hands. It's just one hand. This hand is just to kind of support. So here you go. 1. Now I have one estrujado here.
Right.
Do you know what is beautiful about this construction is that sometimes you have one leaf that's processed one way, that's processed for, I don't know, like seco, processed for like 8 months, 9 months, and then have a leaf that it's processed for 2-3 years. They have different combustions. They burn differently, and want to make sure that the ligero is centered, so the cigar doesn't burn sideways. It's not canoeing and the kind of stuff. But this estrujado helps a lot with even self-correcting the burning.
Gotcha.
And now I'll explain why. So when you build the accordion, one leaf, it's going right here. You do the half turn, but one leaf, it's almost like joining
in between
the and then you bunch it again. It's going in between. You're creating several layers that they're gonna,
like fold over each other.
Fold over each other.
Yeah.
Now comes another one. See.
Yep.
Doing the same thing.
So easy.
Right. And now I'm gonna use half a leaf of some Peruvian tobacco that I have here.
Oh, look at the color of that one. Very different.
Then I'm gonna actually, because this is a small leaf, I'm gonna use another one here at the center. Now you have the tip of the bunch right here.
Yep.
Which is where you have more concentration of nicotine, more concentration of power, more flavor. And then you have remember the old woman? It's right here.
That's it.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to break the bottom.
Gotcha.
Right? If I was going to build like a Robusto, I'm working with 4 leaves in my hand and 2 in the base, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I was building a Robusto, I would need another leaf to make a 50 gauge, but I want to do like a 46. So I could fill with this bottom here just to create a little more consistency and make sure the cigar is it's actually balanced, so you don't have like a part of the cigar that's too strong, a part that's too mellow.
Right.
Or another way too, I could actually get one of these fillers, one of these ligeros, and put upside down. When I do that, if I'm working with 2 ligeros of the same plant, of course, so I can put one up, one down. This way, they kind of keep some consistency in terms of strength as well.
Top to bottom.
You got it. So after you create the bunch in your hand, let's go to the construction pot. So remember that I got the bottom here, I got the tip here, right?
Yep.
So the tip is where it's gonna sit here. If I'm rolling from the left to the right, this is where the tip would sit. So if I have these 2 leaves in a 30-degree angle in the table, the leaf is exactly, the bunch is exactly at 180.
Do the tips match the tips on the 2 that you're rolling on the binder side? No, it's actually the bottom. So it's the opposite.
It's the opposite.
Gotcha.
But you can also construct a different way. But so you understand, if right now I could be using the Lieberman, and the Lieberman would do that process of rolling. But I'm going to do hand rolling. When I do hand rolling, I have to apply a force to make sure everything is well pressed.
Mm-hmm.
And my hand, as you see, goes as I roll towards the side. Once I reach that limit, now I bring towards me, just hold the leaf and just do this.
And pull.
Got it?
Yep.
Yeah.
So now, what do I have in my hands? Have a bunch.
Yep.
That's a cigar bunch. So this bunch will go into a mold. This is an estrujado cigar bunch. This bunch will go into a mold, and we'll, of course, we're gonna. I don't have a chaveta here, but we'll cut the cigar. We cut one side. Here I build, because I have longer leaves, so I build more like to a 7.5.
Mm-hmm.
But when I cut here, this is going to be around 7. When I cut the bottom, it's going to be a 6.5 probably. So you cut where the bottom is. I revert. So where the bottom is, that's where you're going to cut. Because where you cut, it's the head of the cigar. Where you don't cut, it's going to be actually where the tips of the cigar, the leaf is, or the burning starts.
The burning starts. Gotcha.
Okay. So
now, how long does it stay in the mold?
It depends. So we like to work with 30 minutes at least, if you are like in a full production. 30 minutes. It depends on how many molds we're working with. So that's another tricky part of constructing a cigar too. Some factories, they work with 10 molds. We like to work with 20. Why? Because as the bunchers are building up the molds, when they have 10, they put it in a press. When they get 20, they put the next 10 in the press, and then they leave there for another 15 minutes. Now that you have the bottom that's already ready, that's been there for 45. So you take the bottom out and pass to the roller, and then you're already ready with another 10 that's going on the top. So you rotate the molds so they stay there between 30 and 45 minutes.
Gotcha.
Okay, so when it goes out of the mold in our factory, the bunch that's already pressed goes to the draw master. The draw master tests the draw. So we remove out of the mold, put every single cigar into the draw master to test it, and then goes back into the mold. We close the mold and then pass it to the roller.
Wow.
So that's why if you open any of our cigars, you're going to notice that there is a mark check. We use a carbon, like food graded mark check. So it's all marked. We know that you passed quality control, so you can move on.
Wow.
You know?
What a nice process.
Yeah. So now the roller is actually rolling just the wrapper at that point and putting the cap on. So the roller isn't necessarily the buncher, or it could be.
It could be. Like in Cuba, they still the same guy who bunches rolls. But usually in Dominican and Nicaragua, we use pairs. So, that's a buncher and a roller. That's someone bunching. And then usually the roller arrives at the factory 15 to 20 minutes later because she's waiting for the first bunch.
Right.
And start. So she arrives a little later and she leaves later as well.
Right. Okay,
so
that makes sense.
They always work by pairs.
Luciano, I know this is obviously years of experience. You develop the touch, but how do you know exactly how much pressure to apply when you were rolling it in order to have a perfect draw?
So, to be quite honest, these days, 99% of the cigars are rolled in a Lieberman. So that you have an adjustment in a Lieberman where you can adjust for a type of vitola that you're building. And also depends on the amount of leaves that you have in your hands and the density of the leaves. and that's part of the blender's job. So if I'm blending a cigar and I want to work with 2 leaves of seco, so I need to know exactly the amount of leaves I'm going to use of Ligero and Viso to build that specific vitola, that specific size. So once I create that recipe and goes to every single table at the factory, so they know that they're going to use that 2 specific leaves of Jalapa, 1 specific leaf of Ometepe, 2 leaves of Condega, and that's the sequence, that's the order. First, the center must be the Jalapa, the outside must be, so they follow that same pattern that you as a blender created for them. So there's no way of going wrong.
That's the recipe. They're following the recipe.
Right.
If they follow the recipe, if they know exactly, even like when we cut the bottom, or sometimes we cut the tip and fill the bottom, like if you're doing a larger vitola, sometimes we cut the tip and fill the bottom just to keep the consistency. When that happens, the buncher needs to have a good touch, because if he feels in the wrong place, he feels in the center, cigars can get plugged.
Right.
Or if he is missing material, sometimes he's so afraid of having a tight draw that
You have a soft spot.
sometimes you see a cigar has soft spots, or
Yep.
or we call the pelotoso, when he doesn't pay attention, and then you see the veins on the outside, and then you see those bumps in the cigar.
Right.
So those are things that quality control have to pay attention all the time when they're constructing the cigar.
Bruce had a question. Do you put a different number of leaves in a bunch to determine the ring gauge?
Of course.
That's part of it.
Yeah. So like if I'm building a Lancero, and I'm building a Lancero with Ligero, which that's what we do with the Drimmer. So that's only space for 2 leaves inside.
Wow.
With this type of construction that I just showed you, when we have the stick on the outside. So if I have a 1 stick of base, then the wrapper, that's only space for, and the binder and the wrapper, so it's 3 leaves, and then you have only space for 2 fillers. So a Lancero, a 38 ring gauge, will work with 5 leaves total, including the wrapper, and and from those 5 leaves, 1 has to be seco, otherwise the cigar is going to get too tight. Like if you're working with a Robusto, you're going to work with 7 to 8 leaves. It all depends. Like the Mil Diaz, we use a lot of leaves because we use a little more of volado. The leaves there are in the bottom of the Peruvian tobacco because they're little.
They're smaller
bigger.
leaves.
No, they are actually bigger.
Oh, they're bigger. Oh, okay.
They're right at the bottom, and they're thinner. So you're going to need more leaves than normally to build a cigar. So it depends on the density. So you have, when you're blending and you're using our own tobacco, you know what kind of tobacco you're using. You're gonna fill it. Said, oh, this is a Viso. I can work with 2 of these in my blend, and then use 1 sec or 2 secos. So it really depends on how you would decide to blend. So
Gotcha.
The blending determines how many leaves you're gonna use for each vitola.
Gotcha.
If I use just a lot of Ligero, it's actually easier to not have draw issues when you use a lot of Ligero, a lot of thick tobaccos. Let's put it this way, because there's a lot of thick tobaccos that are not so strong, but they're very thick, very dense. Especially when you see like Padron box press.
Right.
All the Padron box press. And I don't think Padron even uses a draw master because he doesn't have to. He's gonna no. I'm serious. I think he doesn't use it because the way he constructs his cigars is always using very thick leaves.
Gotcha.
Right. So if he's doing a Robusto box pressed, he's not gonna use 7 leaves. He's gonna use 6 because he's using more Ligero, more very thick Visos, and very little seco, and very thick wrappers. He uses a lot of the Mexican and the Habano Criollo, which is very thick wrappers. So you're gonna use less leaves. It all depends on if you're smoking a Davidoff. Instead of having 7 leaves, you're gonna find 9 leaves because Davidoff uses a lot of seco. The construction is perfect, but they use a lot of tobacco to make the most of it.
Interesting.
So would you say the thicker leaves have better combustion, so you would use less seco?
I'm sorry, say that again?
The thicker leaf that you're talking about, if you're using 7 of them, as you said, would you use less seco because the combustion is better in a thicker leaf?
That's another good question, man. Because so again, you cannot hide your sins when you use when you use a lot of Viso and Ligero. Okay, you cannot hide your sins.
Okay.
Because if that leaf is not fully fermented, that leaf won't burn. That leaf needs the natural oils in order to create combustion. Because if I get a wrapper, a binder, or a leaf of seco, it's very easy to combust because they're very thin.
Right.
Gotcha.
If I get a leaf of seco, it's easy.
It's
combustion
thin.
is easy.
Yes.
Now, if the leaf is thick and you don't have fermentation, you're gonna burn the leaf and it will not do anything. You know,
it'll die. It'll stop.
It will stop. It will die. So that's one way of really testing. You know, if the wrappers are ready, it's how even. Which is another cool thing too. I don't think I have any wrapper here right now. We could kind of do this with the binder. So let's do this. 1 second. That's all.
Wow.
It has to burn. It has to burn to all the sides.
All the sides. It's burning all the sides evenly.
Look at that.
Right across the sides. Yes.
And it doesn't stop burning.
It's a circle. It keeps going.
Yeah. So if this happens, it means fermentation is ready. You know, on the binder at least, and then the wrapper too. Like on the Visos, usually we check the fermentation by the tip because it's always inside the pilon. So we start with the tip and see how the tip is burning, and then the aroma, the flavor. Usually the Viso and Ligero, you have to smoke them. We have to try them. That's why we make what's called the panetelas, which actually that's where the Lanceros de Laguito came from. So you make one cigar of just one tobacco just to smoke it and try it.
Yeah.
You want to see?
Yeah. While you're doing that, Bruce wants to know: do you draw test your cigar? There you go. Do you
after they're made.
Cigars after they're made.
All of
Quality
them.
control.
All of them.
All of them. Okay. Beautiful. All right, let's put on. Bring back your camera and see what you got there.
No, I was just going to show like how do I test a tobacco. And by the way, also if the tobacco is well fermented, I'm going to actually unravel this one here. As you can see, the leaves didn't break.
Nope.
And I'm here in this hot weather and dry weather of the desert here. I'm in Orange County, California. But see a leaf fully fermented. Of course, if it goes to a press, it might break. But let's see, I unravel.
It still has it lasts.
It still has that.
Still lasts. So let's say I want to actually try this specific leaf here. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to devein this. Finish it.
Yep.
Remove the vein. Now I have the two sides of the leaf right here. I'm gonna use this as almost like a double binder, because if I'm trying a leaf of Ligero, I'm gonna actually bind and wrap in the same leaf, in the same Ligero, right? So let me get one of the same. And here's what I'm going to do. So now I have two leaves of the same plant.
Yep.
So I'm gonna build a panetela. Now, the way I'm gonna do this, it has to be entubado. Why? Because it's very small ring gauge. So I'm gonna building a tube with the veins on the inside, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm breaking that tube and creating a little small cigarillo.
Okay.
And now it's a little different than actually bunching a cigar. So I'm going to do the same process. I'm going to actually bind the cigar, bind the leaf. Remember, what I'm doing here is just testing to see how the fermentation is in this specific leaf. Now I'm going to hold it here. I don't have a glue there, right? I'm just inspecting pilones. So then I'm going to double bind. I'm going to bind again because I don't have a wrapper.
Right.
And I need to make sure that the cigarillo draws. So now I just made myself a little lancero. And because I finish here,
Yep.
I can hold while I'm smoking. So I'm not use the. And so I'm walking by the pilones, I'm inspecting the pilones, and I got that leaf of Ligero. Now I'm going to smoke it, and I'll see if it's ready or not. It's delicious.
I can smell it from here.
It's delicious.
Mm.
Now, what are these leaves for? Which cigars do you have these leaves for?
I was working this afternoon, and this kind of relaxes me a little bit. I was working on a new thing, you know. So, but I have tobacco here that goes in a lot of blends, you know. I have
The
tobacco
Peru,
here.
the Peru was the Pele Oro.
Yeah, it's the Pelo de Oro. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Gary had to chime in and said it looks like a backwoods. Gary.
that must be from practice. He must smoke a lot of them.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
While you're looking at that, how's Pichardo doing himself? How are things going with him? He looks like
He's
he's
good.
his hands full down there.
He's in Miami now.
Oh, okay.
Also getting ready for the show. He'll be there Friday, I guess. Stay throughout the show.
We'll see.
Excellent. Excellent. Fantastic. Would you like to hold on a little bit? We do have a little more sponsor stuff to go through, and then we're going to go to our segment with Frank on Stump the Chooch. Could you hang out a little bit?
Sure.
All right. Frank, take on some more sponsors. Folks, if you too would like to become a sponsor, get in touch with us. We'll love to put your product on the air. And again, that helps us get us to all these shows. We'll be going to PCA. The crew is leaving on Friday. We'll spend Saturday and Sunday there too, Friday night, Saturday and Sunday. And we're going to be bringing you special interviews on Sunday. On Saturday, we'll be meeting all our vendors and people, setting up a beautiful schedule. It won't be as crazy as we did 2 years ago. We learned a little bit from that trip. So on Sunday, we'll be hopefully get between 12 and 16 interviews. So pay attention on live on Sunday. If not, you can catch our shows for sure. We'll be breaking it all up because it's going to be an all-day affair. We got a lot to bring you, folks. So stay tuned. Right now, Frank, take it away.
Before you light your next cigar, be sure to check out Cigar Medics, the makers of the patent-approved humidimeter. The humidimeter is a tool designed to display the relative humidity inside your cigar. With this device, there's no more guessing. Simply insert the probes into the foot or cap of your cigar, and you can instantly know if your cigar is ready to be smoked. Buy now on cigarmedics.com and see site for other cigar accessories. With the humidimeter, you'll know when to hold them and know when to smoke them.
DAV Cigars out of New York. Decades of experience combined with true love and deep understanding of cigars result in the highest of standard of each DAV hand-rolled cigar. RnA Treasures out of Tampa Bay, Florida. The last of a legacy. The last of an inventory of Thomas Cristiano in a warehouse where everything is aged and well kept for all your pipe and smoking needs.
At Norwood Royal Cigars, we have the biggest walk-in humidor in the Midwest. Our 1,500 square foot humidor is home to almost 4,000 different cigars that will meet the need of any cigar enthusiast. We have boutique blends to the more traditional selections and everything in between. From the novice beginner to the aficionado, the knowledgeable staff at NRC will find the perfect cigar for you. Located on the northwest side of Chicago, we want to be your shop for all your cigar wants and needs. As always, at Norwood Royal Cigars, light it, smoke it, love it.
Kristoff Cigars uses only the highest quality double and triple fermented tobaccos from around the world, which are then artfully blended. Whether you're looking for the smooth, mild, and full flavor of the Kristoff Connecticut, or the savory and full body found in the Pissed Off Kristoff, they have a cigar to satisfy the palate of the most discriminating aficionado.
All righty. All righty. So, folks, again, if you're interested, get hold of us on our Facebook page or email us at greatlakessmokeshow@aol.com. And again, please register and subscribe on our YouTube channel. We're really trying to build that up, but we're also on there for all your friends who don't have Facebook, and we know a lot of people who don't. Please let them know about YouTube. And Frank's been pushing this out daily. And there's Zach. Hello, Zach. How are you, buddy? And it's been a lot of fun. So, again, help us.
Hey, Zach. Shout out to Zach, my man.
Yep.
I love this guy.
This guy smokes strictly, I think, Ace Prime cigar lines. Almost every picture in his Facebook page, he's got an Ace Prime cigar in his hand. A true supporter and a believer.
Appreciate it.
A good cigar.
Well, yeah, when you have a good cigar, you know that for sure. Anyway, Luciano, again, is there anything that you can tell us more about you guys or what's coming up for the latecomers that are coming in?
Oh, man, I think everything has been said. We are all extremely excited. I was talking to our sales team the other day, and we already booked up for almost the entire show. You know, a lot of people are interested in coming and ordering from us. So we're excited for the show. We're especially excited for the show.
It's going to be a great show.
We can't wait to get there. And Bruce, yes, we're going to be live on Sunday, but you can catch us here 24/7 at any given time. So make sure you're part of it, okay? Anyway, folks, for tonight's giveaway with Stump the Chooch is going to be a beautiful hat of ours. As you can see, we have our logo on it. It's a beautiful cigar by a beautiful hat by New Era, and it's a fitted. And we have all sizes, so let us know your size. Reach out to us, and we can use all the support. But right now, it's Frank's segment, Stump the Chooch.
All right. Well, I love history, and we just had our 4th of July, Independence Day, Ronnie's birthday. So it's always nice to have things happen around this time of year. So these questions are going to be kind of timely based on the time of year. And this happened not this day in history, but during this month. I'm trying to make it a little bit more difficult so Bruce doesn't, the answers don't fall in his lap.
Yeah, but Bruce bought a hat. So thank you.
He did. Bruce is the best. He is the best. But we're going to go to a year which I really do love, and it's actually 1969. This mission began from the Kennedy Space Center at 9:37 a.m. What was that mission?
Apollo 11?
Nice. Look at Ronnie.
Wow.
It's a great year.
It was a great year. It was. Mets, Knicks. It was a great year.
You got to stop there. That's always.
And the Jets. And the Jets, by the way. Also the Jets.
Joe Willie Namath. Broadway Joe.
Well, now I'm going to move a little bit further in time. We're going to go to 1918. So in this Russian town of Ekaterinburg in Siberia, this former czar and his wife and his 5 children were brutally murdered by the Bolsheviks.
Nicholas.
Yeah, well, I heard who's feeding you. I know Ronnie did not know that, or Bob, but the history major in the room.
Oh, Tim did speak out loud.
Tim did. I heard it. That's okay. Don't worry about it, Tim. I understand. You have to kind of, give them the answers, but that's okay. I mean,
wow, look at that.
everybody's allowed to get that. All right.
And then we go for the audience.
You got it. During this month, this French Impressionist painter was born in Paris in 1834.
Moet.
Bob, hold on a second. Let me finish. Best known for his paintings of dancers in motion. I threw Bob a curveball on that one now.
Dancers. Oh yeah, I can see the paintings too. I can visualize it.
He's a French Impressionist.
Monet.
No.
All right.
Edgar Degas.
Degas.
Before you go to the next one, I know Luciano is really, really busy. We want to thank Luciano for coming on.
Absolutely.
Thank you, my man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And yes, congratulations.
My pleasure,
to
man.
you, your family, the
Great
staff.
show. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother. We will see you Friday night at the dinner.
Have a great night.
Folks,
We'll see you soon.
Luciano from Ace Prime Cigars. Make sure you Google it and find out where you can get Ace Prime Cigars. You hear that, Gary?
Yeah.
All right. Luciano, thank you, brother. Say hello to everybody.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you later. All right.
Bye-bye.
The last one for us, folks.
You got it. All right, let's see. Which one do I want to give you, clowns? I think I'm going to give you this one.
All right.
All right. This was back in 1943. This invasion began with an attack on the island of Sicily. What was the invasion?
Invasion of Italy. Operation Torch?
Yeah, look, we got the Allied invasion of Italy began July 10th, 1943. And that was the beginning of the end of the Germans holding power. So
Normandy is another country. You got that in North Africa. No, a little bit further of North Africa. All right. Anyway, folks, this is for the hat.
This is for the hat.
We are so proud of this hat. Folks, if you're interested, again, only $25 for the hat if you want to support us. And we also have patches and stickers also. The patches are $10. Stickers are $2. Again, I'm not trying to hard sell you, but you know what it's all about. It's to keep us going and keep us on all the trips. We'll be, again, in PCA this weekend. And August 14th, we will be at the Boutique Festival in Martinsville, Indiana, at Cedar Creek. There's going to be 2 live bands. It's a distillery. It's going to be the first of its kind for boutique cigars. Make sure you get there. There's some tickets left. The crew's going to be out there. We'll be doing.
Are there tickets left?
There are some tickets left.
The nosebleed tickets.
Well, you got to get them. And so that's what's happening here on August 14th. And then we're going to be in Florida. There's going to be 2 big happenings.
Yeah.
There's going to be Jeff from Corona Cigars having the big barn smoke, I believe.
The barn smoker.
Real estates. And if you were all on the show last week with David Blanco, he's going to be having another show there also, either the week before or the week after with David Blanco. So
he does his HERF. His HERF will be that week before, I believe. that first week of November.
It might be.
There'll be a lot of
be.
stuff happening.
We're going to be checking that out and bringing you hopefully live the David Blanco Herf show also. And well, then we're going to be going right into the new year soon. There's going to be the second boutique event, and don't forget Honest Abe. Honest Abe will be having his smoking special again. I'll get a date for you soon.
Usually around January.
The Great Smoke.
February. It's going to be right around the boutique show also. So a lot going on. We'll be bringing you that information. As you saw tonight, folks, we have a couple exclusives here by Ace Prime, and I cannot imagine what we're going to be finding out this weekend at PCA, and we'll be announcing all of that information. A lot going on. Let's finish it off, Frank. And
all right, this is for the audience. So everybody will have to listen because I didn't have time to actually write this on the screen. We do this old school. So on July 6, 1957, these two rock and roll legends meet for the very first time at the Woolton Church Parish Fete, where the Quarrymen were appearing.
We know that. We know that one. But, all right. And I don't have the special Jeopardy sound for you folks. Okay. One more time, and that's going to be it for that half.
Gary Levine. Wait, it's not coming up. I don't know why that doesn't come up.
Gary Levine is saying, No.
And we go to Bruce, who is very correct.
There you go.
Lennon and McCartney. Now, what's really interesting about that is, what was the question? David, you're sleeping.
From Milwaukee. What are you talking about?
What's really interesting about that meeting was why Lennon was so impressed with McCartney. And it wasn't just because of how he played. What was it, Bob, that impressed Lennon about McCartney? And it wasn't just because how well he played.
Let's see. I'm thinking now.
Well, Bruce, can you help him out on that one?
I think just his vocals and the fact that he was able to play bass and guitar.
Well, no, he actually played guitar. He switched to bass because he couldn't find
Barry. I like his hair. I don't know why that doesn't come up. It's weird. So no, you know what it is? Because he could tune their guitars. He could tune their guitar. Do you know that Lennon couldn't tune his own guitar? He had to pay somebody to tune it.
Yeah, there you
go. Not all there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I thought that was interesting.
That was great. Well, folks, this is the end of another fantastic Great Lakes Smoke Show. I want to thank all of you again for supporting us, but all the wishes and texts on my birthday, I can't thank you guys enough. I'm humbled by all the support and all the information you guys sent me today. It was awesome. But anyway, till Sunday, when we'll be back again for this special PCA event, we wish you all a fantastic week. Support us. We'll bring you a great show again, and we come back next Tuesday with all the information that we can bring and talk about from the show. From all of us to all of you, have a great smoking week.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Everybody, take care. Good night, everyone.
Perdomo Taj Mahal here. You know?
It really is.
They're stopping by. Oh, I heard about you. I smoke your cigars. I love it.
That's the short story behind how Kristoff got started. It's actually named after our son, Christopher.
We're infamous
for our packaging. Everybody knows Gurkha's got the best packaging, the most beautiful labels.
All your listeners out there, thank you. Be careful, be safe, and God bless you.
Long ashes and slow burns, my friend.
There you go.
Tell my brothers to line them up. We'll drink that whiskey from those old dirty cups. We'll toast to the present, the future, and the past. This ain't my first drink, but I sure it ain't my last. 'Cause this world is so beautiful. I see its love come shining through.